So we're here at South Jersey Marina. It is 75 slips. It's been here for, I don't know, 30 years. I love to see a dock that has lots of fishing boats and nice sized marlin hanging up above your head. We got everything here from tiny little cruise ships, pontoon boats, water taxis, to 150-foot scallopers. Okay, so we're starting our walk here at the south end. First boat we begin at is a 32-foot Topaz. Scott probably made this boat. You see a lot of Topazes in Jersey. Great boat. Classic example of a express boat. One of the early express builders that kind of wrote the book. So Matt and I are walking along. If you see a picture of the sky, it's because Matt just fell over. I want to stop here and look at one of Matt's all-time favorite boats. This is a 31-foot regulator. Actually has a phenomenal reputation as a great sea boat. I guess the biggest producer of boats in North Carolina. Always have to look at the wine and cheese boats, as my wife likes to call them. My buddy has the same boat. It's a Tierra, I believe. He likes to point out that he has no rod holders, but he does have 32 cup holders. Very important fact. And we were right into, I think this is a 47 Cabo. 47 or 40, I think it's 47. They built a bunch of these nice cockpit for a production boat. When this was new, this was killer. A lot of these ended up on the West Coast, Cabo San Lucas. You pointed out manual teaser reels, those pancake teaser reels. Personally, I love them. I think they're Birdsels. You know, we're still pulling the teasers in by hand anyway to pull it away from a fish. Yeah, you can't hit the button to bring the other side in when you're bringing in one side, but they work every time. Love them, love them. Cool boat. Let's see what else we got. It's hard to go to Marina anymore, but especially in New Jersey, without seeing Viking. So one thing I think that Drew over at Palm Beach Towers does a great job on his design. His crew over there, they really are great. You can see a modern Viking hardtop, their pipework. Everything has a curve because you put a little curve and stuff, and number one, you're adding a little bit of strength, and it's just a little more sexy. The days of the old straight angles and everything, they're over. The curves, that's a good looking hardtop right there. Also, on these walks, I'm always looking for that unicorn, something that makes you stop walking and take a longer look. Well, here's the first one. What seems to be becoming a staple on the Jersey docks, as we've seen so far, a Ricky Scarborough. Great boat, phenomenal sea boat, great reputation. But I think this is a great example of what makes a custom boat custom. As you look at very clean sides of the boat, you got your fuel vent, obviously a common drain running all the way back, beautiful curves, great air vent, it's that signature look. One of the things I really love, and we're going to be doing it on our boats, is the handrail up on the top. It's built in, you can't see it, it's there. It's there when you need it, and invisible when you don't want it. You can see in the middle of the seats, that's air conditioning. Because, you can't drink a cold rum and Coke all day long. Well, you can, but you probably shouldn't. So one of the things I wanted to point out on this boat, you see this has a mask on the front, painted black mask. So what he has over it is just a canvas cover to really deflect that heat, because those black masks generate so much heat. Great idea. If you have a painted mask, that's a really smart thing to do. Custom boats, any boats. I'm always looking at their vents. How are they designed, because it can really be the signature for so many boats. It's a beautiful Burger yacht. Actually, that's an aluminum hulled boat. Very cool. I think that they're made in Wisconsin. I'm not 100% sure about that. One of our owners has a Burger that he lives on when he's in the islands. We're building a new boat for him to be his game boat. Life is good. You're at a fishing dock when there's a weigh-in scale. You're at a serious fishing dock when there's multiple block and tackles set up for lifting up fish. So another great thing about a great marina, you got to be able to get all your provisions here. Obviously, they have a fuel dock, but they got a great ship store. You can get all your groceries for the day here, shirts, t-shirts, hats, whatever you need. On to the next dock. I guess this is the West dock. First boat we come to after the tiny little cruise line, 37 Bertram. My friend John Brownlee had one of these named Poppy B. Great boat. This wasn't Bertram's best-selling boat, but it was really it was a great boat. It was like that perfect size for back then. And we have our first center console since Matt's regulator, big CV. I want to say this is, 31. The guys in South Florida always argue over what's the best center consoles, because it is the ultimate center console market. But you got your guys from like Broward County South. They're big CV guys or contender guys. You get a little further north and they're all talking about Ventures and Jupiters. As you go up the coast, we start talking about Onslows and Regulators, of course. And these guys are a pretty loyal following, though, I will say. CV is, I owned the 34. Great boat. Talk about what the over-under is in this. I'm going to 100% put my money on no boat at this marina has more rod holders. 20 rod holders in the gunnel, 6 on the T-top, and 4 in the rocket launcher, and another 6 on the console. Research vessel here, these guys going out doing all kinds of research, obviously. Keeping our oceans full of fish and hopefully absent of windmills, especially here in New Jersey. That's a big deal. So we've got a commercial dive boat. I assume that's what it is because of the big ladder. But I like to see they got a couple of gaffs on here and a nice long-handled net. I don't know if that's for a guy that loses his fins overboard, or maybe while the guys are out diving, they got a couple guys fluke fishing on the boat. Now I see some jigs back there, so they actually are fishing. Another repeat that we've seen now is another 45-foot Cabo. I talked about this in one of our other dock walks, but great layout, great company. Not a big fan of the swim platforms, but great boat. Which leads us into probably Roger's favorite boat, because this is Washington Redskins hull color. I guess it's the Commanders now. This is a 48-foot Buddy Davis. This evolved from the 47 Buddy Davis, which was probably one of the boats that Buddy Davis built his reputation on. Great boat. This is, I think, was built under the latest regime of Buddy Davis, so it has not quite the reputation that Buddy gave it, but this is like when you think of a cola drink, you think of Coca-Cola. When you think of a North Carolina boat, you thought of Buddy Davis. The big vent, that hard broken shear. I mean, that's Buddy Davis in a nutshell. I do kind of like that metal flake paint job, but I'd hate to have to fix it. And of course, we can't be in Jersey without having an Enriquez next to an ocean. This has quite a few rod holders also. Obviously a brand of boat that is 100% known as a fishing first boat. You don't buy an Enriquez if your goal is to go hang out at the sandbar or go dock hopping to go to your latest waterfront restaurants. One of the things we had a viewer suggest is that we should have a contest to see what the best boat name is at each of our marinas that we do a dock walk on. So far, this is Matt's favorite because it says not hers, like a ode to Marilyn Monroe there, but he particularly likes the part at the end where it says ... yet. Another ocean at the end of the dock next to the sea tow. Okay, one more dock to hit. I know I'm saving the best for last, at least in my opinion. What's your opinion? Here's a good contest for our dock walk series. How many marinas can we visit that don't have a Bertram 31? It's just a cool old boat. It's everything's customized. Their top's customized again. I don't know if that's a Glass Tech. Wet, hard riding boats, but they're in every marina that catches fish. Another great name for a boat. Mississippi Queen. Do you know what I mean? And I love the logo. The pinup girl on the back of a Marlin is always a winner. Still not my winner, but it's a good one. This is kind of reminds me of when I go to Guatemala and I see like the ultimate symbol of optimism in Central America is that there's always rebar sticking up out of the top floor because you never know when they're going to put another story on. This one, I feel like they left enough room to put another engine in there, just in case he gets the itch to change that sticker to say 60 miles an hour. Scout, great cruising boat. Not necessarily a fishing first boat, but you can certainly fish on it. That guy does. Over here we have Jupiter. Shout out to Craig. Currently a center console guy. He had a couple Jupiters. We're building a center console in the shop right now, but it's not one like this. I feel like Rodney Dangerfield here because this is a Viking from Palm Beach. This boat's name is Beast. This really is our dinghy. Caddyshack reference. Case, hey, my dinghy is better than your whole boat. So there we have a big yellowfin. This looks like it might be I don't know, is that a 42? It looks big. Usually a 42 will have triples on it, but Wiley, the owner of this, was a race boat guy. He likes to go fast. Miami native, and he's moved the company over near Tampa, but sold it, and the current owner moved the production to Mexico. This is not the biggest boat at the marina, but this is the unicorn right here. is an 80-foot Merit. And that 80 foot does not include the pulpit. So you know you got a big boat where you need steps to get up the brow to the second level. This is Beast. 80-foot Merit out of Palm Beach. You know, my first game boat was a 37 Merit, 1961. So Merit has a special place in my heart. Composite hull, not cold molded, not wood. Everything about the lines on this boat, to me, this epitomizes what a custom Florida boat is. It's got that S curve because it doesn't have that hard shear break. A lot of builders copied this style. A lot of builders copied that Carolina or Buddy Davis style, which actually copied Rabovich. Rabovich was the first one to do that broken shear. We copied this one. I actually copied a 43-foot Merit. Was, to me, the prettiest hull from the waterline up. There's no faux teak here. This is real teak. This is like a whole rainforest worth of teak. And yeah, there's maintenance involved. Not as much maintenance as you think. You can't let it go. A custom boat is only as good as the guys who take care of it. And we got 2 guys on the boat here today. They're taking a rubber left, doing a little sanding. They're just doing maintenance. But if you want a no maintenance boat, that's what you should get. And that's not a no maintenance boat, but that's what happens if you don't throw a coat of wax on it every once in a while. In one of our episodes, we had a boat called Big Deal, and it was a big deal. This boat is called Beast because it's a beast. I mean, so one of the big differences that I see between Carolina builders, custom boat builders, beautiful boats, and Florida custom builders is the size of the fish box that's in the transom. There is no fish box in the transom. The reason for that is if you're wiring a grander, whether it's a marlin or a bluefin tuna, and the fish has you on this side, and that grander decides that he wants to go to that side, he's going. So either you go with him or you got to let him go. And if you have to let him go, sometimes it's hard to get him back. This allows you to slide across the transom with no impediments. Typically a tuna tower, we say it's a 7-step or an 8-step. This is a 10-step gap. I like to make sure that between the hardtop and the standing platform that you got enough room to stand up there, so when you got to go up there and clean, you're not crouched over, Even though this is huge, it's kind of a minimalist tower, it's not oversized pipe, it's an accessory, like when a guy puts a nice watch on. You don't want all the attention to go to the watch. You want it's just there to make you look better. That tower makes the boat look better. So this is part of that marina smell I was talking about earlier. There's all the scallop crew down there all tied up. This is not a cruise ship port. This is where everybody's a fisherman. Whether they're clammers, whether they're draggers, whether they're out chasing granders. This is what's great about Cape May. This is part of the entire culture down here. It's a little tiny town on the end of New Jersey, but this oozes fishing. And it's home to one of the 4 biggest fishing tournaments in the world, the MidAtlantic 500. So that's the end of our visit to South Jersey Marina here in Cape May, New Jersey. Just got to spend some time with Rick Weber, owner of this place, and legend in the industry. Perfect weather, perfect shot for a cigar, little libation, and a perfect spot to do it. All key ingredients to what makes a great marina. And by the way, my favorite boat name, right back here, Wayne's World. Anybody my age watched the movie? That boat under the transom had the hat, the Wayne's World hat that Mike Myers wore in the movie. It's on the Marlin. I think that's pretty cool. Every dock has boats. Not every dock has game boats. This one does. This one has a whole bunch of stories too. We're always looking for that unicorn. We found a few here. Tell us where yours are. Maybe we'll go check it out.